Greetings, readers. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? This is Mbali Blai, your favorite reading activist, one person that makes reading fun, possible, and a lifestyle, right? Right. Okay, so today I am actually wearing two caps, right? I am wearing a cap of a research coach, so by profession, I help people navigate their research journey with ease and make sure that they graduate. So I love research. This is because research is about exploring uncharted territory, It's all about asking questions. It's all about delving into issues that may not necessarily have been explored before. So research, allows you to really get into your creative capacity. So, I love research. But with that being said, I am aware that it can be overwhelming or plain boring for some people, to read through research articles. And more especially if you are not an avid reader, or even worse, if you are not passionate about your research topic. Yes, it does happen. So today I want to share some tips to get you inspired to read research articles with ease. So let's get right into it, shall we? All right. Number 1, do not get overwhelmed by research, okay? Don't. Instead, see this as an opportunity to let loose and become a detective or an investigative reporter. I'm actually likening research to being a community gossip, but obviously not an academic, not a community gossip, more of an academic gossip, guys. On a lighter note, this is now on a lighter note. You know why I'm saying that? It is because you are literally saying, who said what? You are asking yourself, who said what? When did they say it? How did they say it? And what am I saying about that? So hence I'm saying it's more of being an academic gossip, like I said, though, on a lighter note. But in essence, I'm saying just let loose. Change the mindset. So as you go through these research articles, number 1, remind yourself that you are actually an investigative reporter, you are a detective, and don't be overwhelmed. Relax and enjoy the journey. Number 2, like with anything else in life, the more you do it, the better you become. So mastery is a decision, right? So you need to be able to inculcate reading articles into your routine. The more you practice, the better you become. And the best way to do this, right, is to associate reading articles with one of your pleasurable activities. So what do I mean by that? For example, if you like watching rugby every Friday, you can actually schedule reading articles just before the rugby match every Friday. You understand? Oh, if we are jola or courting, then you could decide to read an article before you meet up with your partner. So let's say you're going to meet up with your partner on a Saturday. You can just say, okay, before I meet up with my partner on Saturday, I need to have made sure that I read an article. So that way you associate reading articles with a pleasurable activity. You understand? So hence I'm saying that, right? So in essence, you'd remember previously, when you started driving, right? You'd remember how nervous you are when you started driving, when you first started driving. You were nervous, but the more you drove, the better you become, right? And I think right now it's probably second nature. So will reading articles if you do it more often and if you actually inculcate it within your routine in some way, then it just becomes second nature. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It's just part of you, So the more you do it, the better you become. Number 3, know your word per minute score. Yes. And not only know it, but work towards bettering it. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Firstly, the word per minute score refers to the actual number of words you can read with comprehension in a minute. Do you understand? So knowing your word per minute is useful information towards, collating with your reality in general. But in this specific instance, the logic is, if you read an article of, let's say, 10,000 words, right? And you are able to read 300 words per minute, right? So probably you did the test and you got to discover, or you already know your word per minute score. You can read, let's say you read 300 words per minute, right, at the specific moment. Then it means it should take you only 34 minutes to complete reading that article. Do you understand? That's the logic. So hence, it's important to know your word per minute score. And like I said, work towards bettering it, right? So, but in a case where, let's say you can be able to read 150 words per minute, okay, as opposed to 300 words per minute, right? That means it should take you 1 hour, 8 minutes to read an article of 10,000 words. Do you understand the logic, right? And in my book, I go into detail with this, and I went as far as developing a model called the Reedy model, which elaborates on this, and it shows you how you are capable of learning to read comfortably at a much faster pace. It just takes training to push beyond the familiar comfort zone, okay? Reading at a faster pace with comprehension, and actually you being not only with comprehension, but you need to be able to recall that information. Because remember, you're not just reading research articles for the fun. You actually want to implement that, right? Maybe you're working towards your thesis, your dissertation, or a research article, or, you're just working towards a research project. So obviously, if you're reading research articles, you would want to recall that, right? So reading, knowing your word per minute score is going to help you with that. As you work towards bettering it, it's going to help you, like I said, with comprehension, but it's also going to help you recall, right? And I know this will take some practice, I mean, when I first discovered my word per minute, I was shocked because when I first discovered my word per minute, I could read about 127 words, And obviously over time I grew. I now can comfortably read 300 words per minute. Hence I mentioned it, but it takes practice because it's not how fast you can read, it's how fast you can read with comprehension and recall. That's the important thing. You understand what I'm trying to say? So those are the 3 tips that I wanted to just share with you today, because I know research can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. It's really exciting, and I believe when you implement these tips, you will be well on your way to be a research success. So till we meet next time, happy reading. Bye.